I had no. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Wait, introduce us.
Well, we're not on yet. Wait
Yeah.
a second. No,
Are we on?
Not yet.
Yeah, we are.
Welcome, everyone, to a week 2 edition of About Music. I'm Ty Jenkins.
I'm Crystal Calvano.
And today on the show, new music from the boiler room all the way to the lounge. We have a good variety today,
like
I
that.
think. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I came up with that. Did you like it?
Definitely different from last week's show.
Yeah. Also, we'll go over some upcoming shows and we'll play some videos same as last week, which is nice because we didn't think we would be able to this week. So I think it'll be pretty nice.
Be pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll really just jump right into it.
All right.
This week we are, the first artist we want to talk about is Todd Terje. Todd Terje is a Norwegian producer. He produces kind of in the, I was interested in him because he produces in kind of the lounge, kind of a lounge style, kind of an update, a 2014, synth update of the Henry Mancini kind of Bob Cruz style, if you've ever heard the song Music to Watch Girls By. So very kind of picturesque, very kind of loungy and very beachy, and this was, I introduced this to you. This is your first time hearing it.
I had no idea who he was.
What was your kind of initial reaction to what his music sounded like?
I liked it. I think you described it as non-linear compared to a lot of the house music today. So I liked it. It was good vibing music. And
yeah, I mean,
it was interesting. It's different.
Yeah, and as far as non-linear went, and yeah, I'm not a big electronic music listener. I mean, I listen to a lot of it, but so much of it starts to sound the same.
Yes.
And what Terje really brought for me was kind of that skill, this professional, this very composer-like skill to music that, people who like more traditional house or electronic would really dig as well.
Yeah.
So I was really into that. And Rolling Stone named him number 17 on the 25 DJs that rule the earth, whatever that means.
Well, you mentioned to me about him being insanely talented on all different levels. So he's a DJ, he's a composer, he's a producer, he's a musician. He has all these facets of talents in music.
Yeah. And this is only his first, this is what we're about to hear, the 2 cuts we're about to hear are actually from his first solo effort.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so, he's been doing work before this. The song Inspector Norse was a big international hit in the electronic music scene.
Yeah.
A lot of the album, even though it's really more under the umbrella of disco, has like a video game-ish quality to it, and we're going to play on that because that's what we're going to show you underneath these few songs. So we're going to get to that, and these songs are Prebin Goes to Acapulco and Leisure Suit Prebin by Todd Terje.
All right.
So enjoy. You know,
We're
it's
not.
a DJ show. Like, we're not really talking.
Oh, so everyone just heard me say that we didn't want to talk, so
Yeah.
we're live? So we're live now? So we have to talk.
No. Which one? Which one?
Take that one off. Hey. All right, so we had some technical difficulties over there. Some copyright issues. Do we still want to play?
Well, yeah, we can continue to just talk.
All right.
We can talk about Todd Turge. What I was going to say, yeah, that was very strict.
Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I'm like listening.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, it's not that cool. But
No, I mean it's nice that it pops up.
Well, yeah, I mean they let you know.
Thanks for us because we want to show you guys the video.
Yeah, but as far as Todd Turge, once we finished playing the songs, as you could hear, kind of that neo-disco loungy vibe. I was, and the whole record really goes that way. And then there's one cut, which is with Brian Ferry, who you might know from Roxy Music. He played with Brian Eno, of, you know, famous for music for films and things like that. And Music for Films, the album, not just music for films.
For films, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, that's the only down-tempo cut. It's very kind of brooding. It has a lot of sorrow in it. And if you read about Todd Turge and what he did on that album, it's that song kind of serves as to let you know, yeah, he can bring it to this level as well.
Yeah.
But there's something in him that's bringing you this fast-paced kind of almost, you know, upbeat mostly, you know, very upbeat, happy kind of tracks.
It's upbeat, but at the same time, like you said, like very loungy. So it's very relaxing and soothing. So even though it's upbeat and kind of fast, it's very peaceful sounding too.
Yeah. So yeah, just put on the next songs
Suit?
we're gonna play for you guys are actually by the artist Perfume Genius. We cannot show you the video, unfortunately. We wanted to, but we can just talk a bit. Yeah, just play.
Play the song?
Yeah, this is Queen by Perfume
This is Queen
Genius.
off their new album.
But so Crystal, I've heard Perfume Genius before. Just tell me about your experience with him, how you came to this song, maybe.
Okay, so basically, I was actually reading Pitchfork, and I was looking through new albums, new artists, and Perfume Genius came up. So I'm like, oh, let me check it out because he's always popping up on my Spotify playlist. I always see him, and I never really listened to it before. So
like
I decided,
a lot of things that pop up on your Spotify, right?
Yeah, and then eventually down the line, you're like, oh, I remember them popping up a while ago. But I put Perfume Genius on, and Queen was the first song that I heard. I'm obsessed with it. I play this on loop every day for the past like 3 days.
Yeah.
I love it. I actually, especially this part that's playing right now, reminded me kind of comparable to Goldfrapp.
Okay.
I thought of him being the male version of Goldfrapp, which is weird because I went back to listen to his first 2 albums.
Yeah, and they're
completely different. Completely different.
I listened to the first 2 albums as they came out. I was more, I had more experience with the last album, Put Your Back Into It, which is a 2012 release, and that really. Yeah, when I heard this, I mean, those leads in the chorus, like, he's never done anything that heavy. I mean, it's not that heavy, but that's the heaviest stuff he's done.
The part now, it's just kind of...
Yeah, this is, kind of washed in distortion and stuff like this. There was none of that in the old stuff.
Yeah.
You said you heard a few songs. It's so just bare bones.
Very bare.
Acoustic guitars, pianos.
Which we'll let you guys listen to that too right now to hear a comparison. So this is Perfume Genius, 17.
Yeah, this is from Put You Back Into It. The song is called 17.
Same artist that we just listened to. You can hear different. What? Okay, sorry.
But in this song, he kind of, well, his voice even on the new album, but on the old one, it kind of has like a Bright Eyes feel to it a little bit. Just the voice.
Yeah.
Not really.
It's not as. I'm sorry, Connor Oberst. I loved you back in high school. I respect you. I do. I play his music and guitars. Okay. However, I don't feel like it's as whiny.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Connor has a little bit of a whinier tone to it. Not terrible, but I think this is a little bit more soothing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think, and I've read some of the press that has to do with the new album with Queen.
Yeah.
He's talking about embracing, you know, his sexuality.
Yes.
And
how
people have kind of demonized him. And in respect to Conor Oberst, I feel like Perfume Genius is more assured at all times. He's more confident.
Yes, yes.
You know, so his songs kind of reflect that, and even he wasn't afraid to make 2 albums of very bare music. Whereas we see Conor Oberst, since we're talking about it,
Fridays.
Yeah, I mean, Conor Oberst is always kind of switching what he's doing, and you know, he works with a producer, but at the same time, he's always kind of, you know, messing around, you know, testing the waters, and I don't think we would hear two albums like this by him.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Conor Oberst is from Seattle, right?
No, he's from Omaha. No, he's from Nebraska.
He's from Nebraska?
He's from Omaha.
Why was I thinking Seattle? All right.
This guy is actually from
Yeah,
Seattle.
well, he's from New York and then moved to Seattle. Yeah, so I was going to make the comparison, but I didn't realize he was from Omaha.
Omaha. Very desolate.
Steaks.
Kind of.
Sorry, that's what I think of. Omaha steaks. Yeah. So, now...
But yeah, moving on from the sorrowful kind of music.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just, moving on from the sorrowful music, Rusty. And,
another artist that you just introduced me to.
And my former co-host was actually in here before the show, Andre, and he was very excited about the Rusty pick. And rightfully so, and you know, if anyone remembers Andre, he's very into the electronic stuff, the very synth-laden stuff. And Rusty definitely falls into that category.
Yeah.
I think what drew me to his music, because as I said, I'm not a huge fan of that stuff, was and he said as much, that his music reflects kind of a movement and a dimensional aspect to electronic music.
Okay.
So I really like that in his stuff. He's a Swedish producer, so we have Turge from Norway, we have this guy from Sweden. And recently you might have heard, well, a lot of listeners might have heard his music in association with Danny Brown, the rapper, famous rapper at the time. Dawn Marie, one of our TAs, is a big fan of Danny Brown, playing that.
You're going to say Dawn Marie was a famous rapper?
She's not
Dawn, I didn't know
yet.
This.
She's not yet. It's still very, if Dawn is watching right now, there's a possibility that could happen within the next year, honestly. I mean,
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, Rusty's solo efforts include Glass Swords, in addition to his new album, Green Language, with 2 cuts that we're going to play for you in a few moments. But as far as the narrative aspect or the dimensional aspect, I didn't, you know, what I thought is it doesn't have the same pull as like Bibio or Susumu Yokota, you know, these kind of monolithic figures in, you know, the use of electronics. But it does have its own sound and kind of a video game-ish kind of sound, but also, you know, riding on the kind of the dubstep, you know, the popularity of that right now, but doing some more nuanced things. So actually, play on Velcro. The song is Velcro by Rusty, and then we'll play a cut in sharp comparison to that. This one has some of the dub, and it also has some of that video game-ishness, which is a strange word, going for it as well.
Definitely sounds like the beginning of a video game.
With the media, this would have been just terrific, but instead...
I know. Next week. We'll get all the kinks out. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, hopefully.
And we'll be able to show cool videos.
I know. We need to be like MTV, except like on the air.
Yeah.
And,
one day. One day. One day.
But yeah.
Yeah, this is catchy.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I really like it.
I like this. How long have they been around?
Rusty has been performing his first album. It took him 3 years to do this album.
Wow.
Yeah. So the first one was 2011, and that was Glass Swords, which contains more stuff like this, more drops, and things like that. And this one, as I said, there's some really great contrast in here. When we play the next track,
Yes.
Paradise Stone. Paradise Stone is almost like, if anyone has heard Pole or like Hint or anything, these kind of electronic groups that are laden in kind of very small subtlety. It's almost like glitching sounds your computer might make, and it just continues and with slight variation.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, Paradise Stone is an awesome track. Yeah, I mean, this even has a little tiny bit of that, and this song doesn't embody the movement and the anti-linear narratives of his music, but it does. But sound-wise, it has something that I think is very kind of interesting to me. You know, even if you compare it to a lot of dubstep that's out there, if you were to compare it to, you know, some of the stuff that's popular, it's not really, it doesn't rely as heavily on like wobbly bass and things like that. But there is a drop aspect to it. There is kind of that physical aspect.
Yeah. I feel though a lot of the mainstream dubstep that you're hearing though, it's played in clubs, big clubs where people are dancing. Where this, I feel like you would listen to in a smaller scale type club. You know, like people, they want to listen to electronic music, but maybe they're not so much into dancing. They just want to chill out. And just
when I watched him do his Boiler Room set, as I said, we're going to the Boiler Room. When I watched him do his Boiler Room set, it was a 50-minute set. I didn't watch the whole thing. But it was like you were saying. Obviously, the Boiler Room is a smaller place, and a lot of people do Boiler Room sets. But there wasn't a lot of dancing. It wasn't like crazy. People were just kind of enjoying it, just hanging around.
Bunch of girls, you know.
Yeah, girls
lots of drinks, getting down. No, it's more of a
it's definitely more of a chill vibe.
Appreciating, the music.
Play Paradise Stone.
Paradise Stone.
As far as the bigger clubs and the bigger electronic music venues, this week we have, for example, someone who went to go see Rusty. I don't think that they would be as interested in maybe going to see Bass Nectar, which is happening in a few days at Madison Square Garden. So that's a huge show. Yeah, for it to reach that level. And we'll be talking about a few shows in just a few moments. A few things that have stood out to us recently.
Yes. So this is Paradise Stone by Rusty.
Already standing in stark contrast to the other song, more of a kind of, even though he's kind of, it's almost based around bells. There's like a percussionish kind of beat to it, not as fast, not as animated, you know. And it becomes, I think, a more calculated song. And he shows on this album that he has that range, you know. And also, there's a few features on here as well. This album actually does have Danny Brown. It has that song Attack that features Danny Brown on it, and that's been a big, more mainstream track. So a lot more people are knowing Rusty's name. So so it's interesting that happened just as this is coming out. Attack was a single, and he used that as his single when he does things like this. So I wonder what his next release will be like, and two, how this is going to affect, I guess, just his performances and his crowds and things like that when you see those kind of crossover, different features and performances.
Very interesting.
On album. Yep.
Very interesting.
But as far as shows.
All right, some upcoming shows, guys. Something we're all interested in.
Yep. One that I have was, the first one that I have, Sunday, October 5th at the Bowery Ballroom, Erica M. Anderson from Portland, she will be playing over at Bowery. Emma, if you guys don't know, she had a 2011 album called Past Lives and Martyr Saints. It was a great album. Got a lot of press. She kind of withdrew from the limelight at the time. She said she said it was getting a little bit too big for her, and that she really didn't want to be that. Yeah. And so it took her 3 years, and she came back with the newest one, her 2014 release, where she's wearing, on the album cover, she's wearing the Oculus Rift, and it's a album kind of riffing on where we're going as a society, and it's a very interesting record if you haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it yet. Talking about that though, did she get any controversial reviews or anything?
Yeah, some people thought it was a bit too heady.
Okay.
You know, that she was kind of the same thing that happened with I want to say with what's her name? With Meredith. Meredith, who is the never mind.
Yeah.
I forget what her project is. But basically, yeah, people were saying it was a bit too heady. You know, she's biting off more than she can chew. She's kind of preaching. And people, you know,
right.
once you start doing that, people aren't really into it. And we were talking about Bright Eyes sometimes, you know, when he was younger, lyrically, how verbose he is, it's off-putting.
Yeah, I
But
understand.
yeah, so a show that you've been.
Well, the shows that I'm mentioning for this week, they're actually sold out.
No, okay.
But ironically, one of them is Perfume Genius.
Not
He's going to be playing, yeah.
With the new release, yeah.
Playing, I believe, on the 6th or the 7th. The October 7th, actually, at Music Hall of Williamsburg.
Oh.
So tickets were decently priced.
Yeah.
Between 20 and 40 around there, which is awesome because you can either get something for $15 or you can go into the Bowery website and get something for $50.
Yeah.
So he sold out, and Bare Hands was playing the day before at the Bowery Ballroom on the 6th.
So that's 3 shows in a row. That's the 5th, 6th, and the 7th.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
yep, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And they were sold out already. But yeah, my shows that I'm looking forward to, they're a little ways away.
A little ways away.
Yeah. Which we'll talk about.
Yeah, I was, well, I guess in respect to Emma, because you're talking about sold out shows, she actually, up to probably yesterday, she hadn't sold out yet, which was almost surprising because it seems that her crowd has cooled. Yeah. And that was kind of...
Have you seen her live?
I have not, but she was selling out everything, even right after her release. But it hasn't been that long since it came out, so it's kind of like you can see those trends forming. You know what I mean? And that's always, I mean, it may be troubling for her, but
well, we'll see. Maybe troubling at first, but it could be a great.
Yeah, or she could be into it. I mean, she originally withdrew.
Especially, why the reasons why she withdrew. Maybe she's like, all right.
Just the last thing that we have on here is Buke and Gase, Friday, October 10th, at the Music Hall of Williamsburg, which is the same day as Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. In case
Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. Please tweet us if you are a fan of Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats.
I have a friend that's actually a fan of them. Well, I mean, not actually. It's just it's just such a great name. I have not heard them. I am not.
I'm not familiar with them either. We can't sit here and talk about their music, but we really dig the name.
Yeah, to the point of Buke and Gase playing on the 10th. Buke and Gase are interesting because you've never heard anything like them. Only because the Buke and the Gase are actually made-up instruments that they created. One is kind of an alto ukulele. The other is like like a 7-string bass. Yeah, it's interesting. But that's all we have for you this week. And
sorry about our technical difficulties. We will be better next week.
We'll see.
No, it'll be fun. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, there you go. And they